Welcome back, everyone. Today I'm with a very special guest, the one and only Garren.
Hey, there we go. There we go. Garren.
So
That's it.
I noticed on a few tracks recently that it switches between Garren and Garren Edwards. How do you decide which one you're going to put down for like a feature or a?
Garren Edwards was like old. So if you ever see somebody have Garren Edwards, that means it was like before 2015. Oh yeah.
What about the was that Justice League track old then?
Yeah, I did that in 2015, 2014
Oh,
actually.
wow. And it just came out?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's just how it works. That's how people be liking to do their things. They just take their time more, I ain't mad at it. Just that you got Garren Edwards now. You got my government out there.
Yeah, true.
All right.
I honestly don't know any Garrens either, though. So do you know any Garrens?
No, I've seen them like now on Instagram and Twitter. People be like, "Yo, my name Garren," or something like that. You know what I mean? So I'm starting to know of different Garrens in the world. I'll say.
Well, what I thought was cool is that you put out a documentary and you said it's going to be picked up by a festival. How did that come about?
I shot the documentary in 2017. I released it in 2019. I submitted it to a few festivals, a lot of festivals. Like I'm like 5 for 21, meaning I got submitted in 5 and lost to 21 of them. So
yeah,
not sad or nothing about it, but just that's just the harsh reality of it. I didn't do this for the recognition of a festival or anything like that. I just have other board of associates, I guess, that kind of gave me that tip, like, yo, put it in a festival. It's very strong. Like, they might could help you get more exposure. But I just did it for the people, you know what I'm saying? One day the people going to see it, and I just want them to see something worthwhile that could be still, lingering for many, many years past just the moment, you know what I'm saying?
for sure. So you were on Revenge of the Dreamers 3. Did you get credit for on the documentary at all? Because if so, that means you're like in 2 documentaries.
I didn't get credit in the documentary. I was in the documentaries. Like a couple people tagged me, like, "Was that you?" Paused it. It was like probably like a split second because I came very late to the sessions. So I was like, I came on like the last. I think they was there for 10 days or 14 days. I came the last 3 days. That's all I remember. So however many days they were there, I only came the last 3.
Did you get your own picture? Like all of them got their own little portrait of themselves. Did you get any of that?
Oh yeah. I got like the invitation. I got like the shoes and you know what I mean. I do wish that it was a lot more respect for me as an artist. You know what I'm saying on that project. That's just being 100. But I don't hold nothing against them. I know the business, so until I don't really have to introduce myself anymore, I'm always running to little obstacles like that.
Well, I talked to another guy from the sessions. I don't know if you connect with like Deontay Hitchcock at all or anything, but I noticed that
I know I've seen him for sure. I mean, we probably know by face. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people in there.
But I did notice that they did bring on quite a few like newer artists, which I thought was pretty interesting.
Right, they did, and that's what I'm saying. Overall, you got to commend that camp for even extending their doors to everybody. But it was just one of them things. It was still like inclusive but exclusive all at the same time. It was like it's like you had to just know how to like maneuver in and out of it.
It's dope because Seattle, where I'm from, they actually had their own version of that like in January. So the videographer from that, Chase Fade,
I know Chase.
Yeah, dude, he set it up exactly the same way here in Seattle. So like all the big Seattle artists did it, and they're going to be coming out with that album or compilation in a few months. But that Seattle is huge for Seattle, and to have Chase back that all up.
Yeah, Chase, he learned it from that because he was shooting Boz. So I know Chase from shooting Boz. I met Chase, I think, at the sessions, I believe.
Yeah, he's been on a grind, dude, and he's from Seattle. So like he's like it's weird because there's a ton of artists and creatives in Seattle, but only like not with my podcast, the whole thing is to spread some light on more of these amazing artists. But the artists that do get to make it out of Seattle, they make some amazing connections. So
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope
mm.
for Seattle. I love
So
Seattle. I've been there a few times. I love it though.
have you performed there at all or?
Yeah, it was all for tour. I've never been
Ooh.
there like just to chill, but I would really love to go to Seattle, go to like a high-rise hotel or living shared living or something, and just embrace the city.
Mm.
You just go upstairs and just what I mean, just enjoy the city, the view, the skyline, all that.
It's crazy because the Space Needle is like probably our biggest monument. But if you ask people, it's honestly not a lot of Seattleites have actually been there because it's so fucking expensive. You have to pay to go up, and then on top of that, you have to pay for the food. And
Yeah,
so they know.
That's how they do the Empire State Building.
Yeah, I haven't been
In
there.
New York. Yeah.
Yeah.
New York is like the monument is going all the way up type of thing. And then, what I mean, I'm sure it's stuff up there. I ain't been in there either. That's what's crazy. I just know certain people was telling me like, yo, man, the Empire State, you just like a attraction, like charged to go in it. Like, dang, man, whatever.
Yeah, I was always thinking about like how much money would you have to like buy like a building like one of those, like the Space Needle or something? Because can it be considered a monument if there is like a restaurant inside of that?
Yeah, and that's why the restaurant's in it. The thing is, that restaurant probably paying crazy tax just to be in that building. Like, I mean, like if the rent for something of that, that nature will be 10,000, I'm sure they paying maybe 30,000 a month for rent. I mean, not on top of the expenses, the lights, all that other bills, utilities, like 30,000. Like, and I'm not even talking about that particularly because I think honestly, if that's one of y'all most biggest attractions in Seattle, then they're probably paying at least like $50K a month.
I wouldn't doubt it. That'd be crazy to have a freaking studio
But they're
up there
probably
though.
charging like $200 for steak.
Yeah, and it's supposedly not that good of food either. I literally haven't been there since I was like in kindergarten or some shit like that.
Oh yeah. So it's a long time.
Yeah, and they have they just remodeled it also. So like the whole floor is made out of glass now. So you can see the bottom. So that's fucking crazy.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that's wild. I'm scared of heights, but I always face them. It's weird. It's not like a fear. It's just I'm scared.
Heights and spiders are my biggest thing, man. I can't with either.
Yeah, spiders just some eight-legged freaks.
Yeah, dude, that's the thing. Like, it's weird. Like, that's one of the humans' biggest fears. Like, the more legs something has, like, we're just drawn to be more scared of it. Like, imagine if an ant was like even 5 feet.
Yeah, right. Disgusting. I hate insects.
Dude, yeah. Yesterday night. Do you know who Coyote Peterson is? He's like the new version of like the alligator guy who like did all those like documentaries and shit.
Yeah.
So he has like 16 million followers on YouTube or something like that. And
crazy.
Like one section of his channel is he just gets bit by all these different types of insects and stung. And he recently he recovered the murder hornets thing because he got stung by that like 2 years ago, and he was saying how because the murder hornets are in Washington, So
I heard about them.
And he was saying that there's actually only like one probably in Washington, and they found it dead because it's all the way from Asia. So the only way to make it actually across to Washington would have to be on a boat or something like that. So what he thinks is that it was cool because like he's a nature guy, so he understands how this all works. And he was kind of saying it was just like the media blowing it out of proportion because they're just trying to find other things, and that's not the actual name even. It's called like a Asian giant wasp or something like that. But he said he has like a sting chart, and he said that was like one of the top 2 stings he's ever received. And like he literally gets like yesterday I was watching this video, and he had this like giant centipede. It was like fucking this big.
Yeah.
And he picked it up and let it bite his hand. And he was like on the ground for like an hour. And I was like,
for real?
Yeah, like I can't imagine doing that shit. Like
that's crazy.
The fucking YouTube holes you can go
He
down.
just letting insects bite him. I'm cool. I could never do that.
You should watch it, dude. It's fucking crazy.
I'm gonna watch it. What is it called? Let me write it down right now.
Yeah, look up Coyote Peterson, and then it'll come up with all the different videos he's done. He has a ton of fucking videos. And he was actually on. Have you watched Hot Ones? The where they eat like spicy chicken wings and shit like that.
Idris Elba and like.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was recently on. He was on that like a year or two ago. So I just watched that this morning because like sometimes I get him like on a binge of like certain like artists or fucking actors or anything like that.
Right. Yeah, I feel that. That's dope. Yeah, Coyote Peterson. I gotta look that up. I'll be interested in nature. I love animals. I hate insects, but I love animals. I'll be interested in a lot of like nature. I watch Discovery Channel, Animal Channel. You know, I'll be just trying to learn. Like when I go on Netflix, I don't watch like movies more so. I watch documentaries. You know, I'm always trying to like just gather information. You know what I mean? Just I don't know. I'm a learner. I'm a student at heart.
Yeah, for sure, man. I'm a city guy, but I recently moved up to the woods, and it's fucking a total different environment. There's like an alpaca farm down the street from my house.
Oh,
There's all
dang.
these horse ranches, and like
Right.
my backyard is like full of trails and stuff.
Oh, crazy.
But cause I grew up like 15 minutes away from Seattle, and now I commute like 40 minutes just to get to Seattle because that's where my radio station is and my studio and everything.
Dang.
But it's crazy because everything's closed down right now, so I've just been doing all these remote podcasts. But
That's dope though, man. That's awesome. I mean, now I know from this day forward, every time I'm going to Seattle, we just got to set up an interview and just always be able to, you know,
yes, man.
mark the, you know, maybe 10 years from now, be like, damn, we did 10 interviews, you know what I mean? And it was like, look at what happened. Look what you were saying here in 2020 compared to what you're saying in 2030, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure, man. I'm all about connecting with people, making long-lasting connections, like no matter how big or small that the person is, like even with your cousin, like I thought that was dope. And then I was like, what? It was crazy because I was looking at his Instagram and I was like, that's the first time I've seen a guy credit someone who's actually like in the music industry taking a picture of them because like he credited you for taking a picture of him with like BJ the Chicago Kid and all that shit.
Yeah, and I brought him on along to that session. He helped write this song with me and BJ, and it was just dope. You know, I was just lately I've been on a very super crazy run of just collaborating with a lot of different people, producers, artists. So I'm about to go on like a 30-week run of just releasing music for the next 30 weeks, starting in a few weeks. I'm literally waiting on the mixes now. It's probably information I shouldn't disclose, but I just be so open, you know what I'm saying? I just be like, whatever, like. But I'm waiting on the mixes now. I got like, when is this interview gonna come out, you think?
Yeah, dude, for real. Like I'm on top of editing, so we'll probably release this by tomorrow, honestly.
Dang, okay. Yeah, I can't say what I'm gonna say then. But
yeah,
I got
man.
A lot of big features coming, man.
I saw that you made a song like I think it was either this year or last year, I think. That you made that one song with Eric and Ye Ali on the
Oh yeah, his Cuffing Season remix, yeah.
Yeah.
That was last year, yeah, right before we went on tour.
And now that's the thing. It's interesting because I see I see you put on all this work and stuff, and I see a lot of like up and coming artists putting in work, and like even when it comes to, and that's one thing that I've learned with podcasts too. Like some people when they are pretty they think it's going to take one person that's going to bring them to the spotlight and like blow them up, whether it's a podcast, whether it's a feature or anything like that.
Right.
So what are your opinions on all that? You know, because it isn't just like, yeah, you can get that Drake feature, but even just a Drake feature doesn't mean you're going to be on the top.
Yeah, no, you won't. Literally, you won't. I learned that many years ago. Don't mind my homeboy in the back. But, I learned that many years ago. It takes very small, simple successors or success to really get to that point. And I'm realizing that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, like these little movies, like these documentary, festivals.
Mhm.
It's like they look good. They're not really serving me like financially or exposure wise for that matter too. I mean, these are companies, like it's all a hustle, you know what I'm saying? You gotta pay to enter into this movie thing, then you gotta pay to get there when they do accept you, then you gotta pay for your own stay. And then, you know, I went to the Los Angeles Film Festival, LA Movie Awards, and it's like in this little like, all right, like y'all rented this space and like it, like, I don't know how to explain it without making somebody sound worse than, and not even worse, because it is what it is.
It's an investment. That's what it is. You know.
Right. And I just think you have to just count your blessings when it comes to all these little different things, because like right now, what I'm realizing, and I don't even think this is really out there in the real world of the industry, real world, because we got a real world, a reality, then you got the industry that you playing in. That's a real world as well. Within this industry, I don't think people highlight enough how much the look is so important. You know what I'm saying? And I think that like with this film industry, it's more of a look. With this documentary, it's like, oh, you getting these looks. And people are seeing that you getting these looks, and that's what really matters. Because when you go into these places and you go into these festivals, it's not really like what you would think. Like, oh, we in a festival. Like the word festival in itself make you think of something like
A huge rave.
grand. Yeah, like it just make, but it don't really be that. The festival is that is the fact that it's a bunch of movie and indie companies out here picking up films for other people to watch and potentially pick up and take to the next level. Even in music, because I just live life naturally, you know what I'm saying? I don't make music. I talk about my life while I'm doing what I love to do, which happens to be considered music, you know what I'm saying? It's not like I'm like, yo, I want to do music, you know what I'm saying? I didn't. So the small things count into getting to where you are. You know, a lot of people think I'm successful or whatever they think. And I'll just be like, man, you know, I feel a different way about myself because I'm actually living and I'm actually myself. So just because I present to you on Instagram or Twitter or whatever outlet you see it on YouTube or this interview, like, oh, I got it together. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm not as successful as you think, and I'm not as not successful as you don't think. If that makes any sense, you know what I'm saying? I'm just existing. And I think if people start grasping the concept that success is literally like, you know what I mean? Like a maze. Like, you remember that little thing as a kid? It was like a little pinball, and it was like you had to, that's success, bro.
Yeah, dude. And I agree with that 100%. I like to call those people not in this industry, like the real world outside of the industry. I call them the normies, because like anything that you do, like maybe meeting Drake, even people would be like, oh shit, you made it. But you're like, yeah, I got to meet him, but that doesn't mean.
Yeah, I met him. I didn't make it. I met him.
Exactly. Like it comes with anything, like having a special feature. Yeah, you made that connection and you want to continue to build that connection. Like I interviewed CeeLo Green a few weeks ago. That doesn't mean I've made it. You know, it's something you continue to add to your resume.
Right. I got my cousin Brody calling right now. He's a 7-time Grammy Award winner. He produced 24 Karat Magic. That's what I like. You want him to get on real quick?
Dude, yeah, you guys can both be on.
Hey, Brody.
What's up?
I'm on this interview podcast with my mans. I gave him a little background about you. You should just say what's up to the people right now. They can hear you.
What's up, y'all? Peace and blessings.
All right.
Don't worry about nothing. This is all gonna be over.
Right. He said this is all gonna be over. What's up, though, bro?
Nothing. Call me back when you're done.
All right, got you.
All right.
My bad. That's my cousin. He literally put me in the industry.
Yeah, dude. I've seen how, like, with all your interviews, like, you definitely highlight Brody, and that's so amazing. Like, I feel like even with Smooth, with anyone, like all your family members, you made sure they were in your documentary. I can tell that like family is like really important to you.
Oh yeah, 100%. Family's everything to me. Music is me. Family is me. You know, these things are like inevitable. It's almost like I didn't ask for this, you know what I mean? I just woke up to knowledge because I was born, of course, so I was already woke. But when I woke up to knowledge and what it meant and what things mean, so that's probably around 12 for most men. For women, it might be earlier because, you know, they kind of grow a little faster. So at 9, a girl might be thinking about how she just want a family in life and just want to love her family. Like literally, that a girl might think that at 9 years old. Man, we like, yo, where's my toy? You know what I mean? Yeah. So at about around 12, around 11, 12, that's when I'll start saying, man, I don't want to gangbang. Man, I want to be a good father for my kid. If I have a kid, you know, when I have a kid, I want to, everything that I wasn't shown, I wanted. Like the music, the financial relief that it brings, you know, wasn't the target, but it was, I was aware, you know, I started thinking like, okay, gospel music make this many zeros, you know, secular music make this many zeros, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not about the money, but you still have to consider all of that stuff. And then I don't even, you know what I mean? I don't even look at it that way. I just want to do the good work. Like I don't want the money. I want the money to give it. And not really to give money, because I don't really believe in giving money, bro. I really believe setting people up to get their own money.
Did you hear what happened to 6ix9ine the other day, dude? He
Whatever.
fucking I forget, it was some starving children of something charity fund, and he gave $200,000 to them, and they denied him. They're like, sorry, you don't match our value system.
Wow.
Dude, it's over for that man. He might be making some headlines right now because he just got out and made some songs, but he's either going to be shunned by the industry and not going to be able to make music the way he wants, or it's over either way for him. It's a double-edged sword for him, I think.
1,000% correct, because people don't got time no more. You come with trouble. You come with the government. You come with trouble. You literally like everything that everyone hates.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way, but like the niggas don't want to rock with you. The government don't really care about you. You know what I'm saying? The white people think you look goofy. You know what I mean?
Man.
He got support overseas, but it's probably only online. I don't know if overseas is willing to take the risk to put him on stage at a festival.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're you know what I'm saying? So I mean, you know what I mean? I can't even wish him, you know, the best. Actually, I can't even wish him the best. Literally. It sucks. Yeah. I got too many codes in front of my words that would, you know, prevent me from giving him any type of good energy.
So being raised in the church, what's the difference between being a gospel artist and an artist that's God-fearing?
I'm God-fearing. I'm not a gospel artist. So the difference between God-fearing and gospel artists, it's not really a big difference between the words they decide to use in their music. Maybe somewhat of the melody, because gospel music is more of worship music. So it's a lot of elongated notes and a lot of cymbals and a lot of loud, euphoric type of stimulating music, if that makes sense. Because it's all about getting in the zone and worshiping God. God-fearing artists simply just understands that I'm not on the right side of the fence according to the Bible, you know what I'm saying? But I'm very aware of who God is, what he wants from me, and what he requires of me to do on this earth, even though I have my own way of thinking because I'm a human. You know, I can't be perfectly aligned with God. Nobody can.
Mm.
You know, we can only try and aspire to be, but we still never be. The only perfect human that ever walked this earth was Jesus Christ, which is a form of God himself. So I just think the really big difference is the choice of words you use. But see, I'm tricky. Like, I'm gonna get married whenever I get married, and I'm still gonna be talking about sex and all these different things because now I'm talking about my wife. So
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I'm talking about my girl right now, and I know according to the Bible, it's a sin to have sex before marriage. And I respect it 100%. But I can't wait till I'm 100% right. Now it's like, now what do you have to say? I'm talking about my wife, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I think it's really up to the viewer. You know how before you watch a movie or show, viewer discretion is advised? It's one of those. Like, it's really up to you. What do you think? You think I'm a sinner? You think I'm a whatever? Like, that's on you. You know what I mean? I ain't tripping off everybody's opinion, how they look at it. I'm just going to kind of like continue to live my purpose and do good to people. That's God's work.
What are your opinions on people kind of saying that this whole, of course it's a blown out of proportion view on things, but what are your opinion on people thinking that this is the end of days and, you know, like the plague and everything?
I mean, the Bible always says we're in the end of times. I don't want to be too spiritual, but I really grew up like super spiritual. My mom is very adamant about the word. Every day my mom sends us scriptures, like every day. My family. We all grown. We all grown. Sister married. We grown as hell. Mm-hmm. Or it's heaven. But we grown. And the point is, she sent us scriptures every day. I mean, every other day. I don't know. It's very often. It's very consistent. And, you know, I could never not connect this life I live with the spiritual beings. You know what I mean? It's a lot of spirits in the world. Some good, some bad. But, you know what I'm saying? You can pretend that, what is it called? The Big Bang Theory was really what happened. But nah, ain't no two rocks just run into each other and created a heart and a brain. And, you know what I'm saying? That's deep. Created a new world, and I'm cool.
Are you pretty optimistic about this whole quarantine going away then and this virus, or?
1,000% is gonna go away. 1,000%. It's God. I mean, he's in control. It's gonna go away. I can tell you this. God ain't gonna warn you when he coming. He ain't about to be like, yeah, we're getting close. It don't work like that. So if everybody thinking this is the warning, like he don't do no warnings. So I mean, everything could have been great. Kobe could still be alive. Nipsey Hussle could still be alive. The world's turning. Gangbangers get along. Basketball is flourishing. The Lakers win a championship. The Rams win a championship. Everything can go perfectly. You probably think the Seattle Seahawks will win a championship and the Seattle Supersonics will win a championship, but I'm talking about Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So whatever your perfect world is, that's your perfect world, though. You know what I'm saying? And then boom, that's the end days. You know what I'm saying? God don't work on our understanding. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not worried about the fearful people who are like just scared, literally who just scared because, oh my gosh, it's a plague, pandemic. I'm cool. I don't panic like that. I didn't rush to the store to get no tissue. I didn't rush to the store to get anything. I just went to the store when I needed to go to the store. And I just went to the beach if I wanted to go to the beach. If I went to the park if I wanted to go to the park. Oh, we can't go to the restaurants and stuff. All right, cool. I'm going to start cooking at the house. I'm going to start getting meals prepared for me. Whatever the case is, I'm not moving on everybody else's time because that's what I'm saying. Like, my mom prepared me for the real spiritual warfare. I stepped out of that realm of how she prepared me, but I'm not, you know what I'm saying? There's scriptures that talk about not panicking when Antichrist and pandemics and so I don't know, man. I'm not caught up in this, bro. I'm literally chilling every day.
Right.
That's all.
So if something good happens to you, do you say it was from
Thank you,
God,
Jesus. Yeah.
or do you think it's the universe?
God. No. The universe is God. So sometimes I use the word universe, but I never thank the universe. Never. I thank God. The universe is thanked because I grind every day. That's how I thank the universe. The universe is thanked because I do good for people. I just seen somebody on the corner before I did this interview. He asked me for some money. I said, "Do you want something to eat? Do you want something to drink?" He got him a little sandwich. That's me thanking the universe.
Right.
Thanking God. That's for the blessings. I mean, and I'm thanking God too, because it's like, thank you for allowing me to have this, the funds to even be able to, you know what I mean? It's deep, bro. I mean, I thank God in so many different ways, and he knows, because God judged the man of a heart. I mean, he judged the heart of a man, you know what I mean? So that's a very strong quote, you know what I mean? Like, that means he's seeing your intentions, you know what I'm saying? And you got to understand, being a human, your intentions don't always come out through your actions. Sometimes you might be intending one thing and your actions are saying the complete opposite on accident, though. Not even on purpose, like on accident. Like, dang, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, but you feel like I just meant to hurt your feelings. Like, you know what I'm saying? So God is just, you know what I'm saying? Short for justice, meaning he is fair. He knows, you know what I mean? He knows what you mean. Just like if you try to pretend like you really care about somebody and you don't, he knows what you mean. You know what I'm saying?
So if God knows what you mean, does it matter if you're politically correct at all, or what are your opinions on being politically correct?
What's politically correct? Because the only politics I care about is with other people, not the government.
Right.
So what do you mean by? Because when I'm politicking with my mans to get or open a new studio. When I'm politicking with this new artist who I would really love to work with, and I need to just build a solid relationship with him first so I can actually get to the point of being able to work with him. That's politicking to me. Or if I'm politicking like somebody saying this or doing this, how we gonna attack, you know what I mean? That's politicking to me.
Are you not?
I know what you say.
Do you worry about like using specific words or anything like that?
No. Understand what people mean when they say like politicking, because politicking is very general. If you really just think about it, like you politicking, when you use it in that context, it's kind of like, what are you, like, how are you know what I mean, using that word? Like, that's a very interchangeable word to me, politic.
Yeah, that's true. I never thought about that. There's tons of words that I use too that are probably too general too, but yeah, I get that.
It's not even saying that it's too general. I just think you can literally be talking about the literal, like, politics, like democracy, you know what I mean, anarchy, all that, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm like, what do you mean by the politic thing? Like, because I'm thinking politic, like, not politic with Brody, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just different. I don't know. It's different. Politics is a very, very, very general word right now.
For sure.
Especially in LA. I'll tell you that. In LA, politicking is a very general word. And it means a lot of different things. Like, you politicking with the enemy. Like what does that mean? But it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? It makes so much sense. Like, you politicking with the enemy, like, it makes sense. Like, what does that mean? Like, that mean you, like, I don't know. It's funny, bro. It's funny. In LA, politicking is a very deeper rooted word.
Has anyone told you that you look like J-Rock?
No, maybe with a beard mustache. You want to know what I get? And
What?
I won't say I hate it. I just get it a lot. It's Chris Brown, bro.
Ah!
Like, you look like a dark-skinned Chris Brown. I
I'm
get
dead.
that a lot, bro. It's like it's almost like I can't control it type thing.
Can you dance?
Don't get me wrong. No, I can't. Don't get me wrong. I'm like, quarantine, no haircut, all that stuff. But I think when I get like dressed up and like really, like be the artist mode, I think people just, like maybe our mannerisms or I don't know what it is that give him that vibe. But shout out to Chris Brown.
Yeah, my overall goal, and I think I always want to get to that like that level where people are saying people look like me, versus like you look like that person.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's always a certain level. That's.
Mm-hmm. I always. It's weird because I'm selfish because you have to be. But I'm really not selfish. Like, I really want to get to a place where people are like idolizing me.
Yeah.
Only because I want them to not feel like they have to idolize me. It's weird. It's really weird. It's like I only want you to feel how real this is. Like, I want to get to the top to show people that you don't have to act like you're at the top when you're at the top. I mean, everybody.
Like you want to be like a people's champ?
A people's champ. 1,000%.
There we go.
1,000%, bro. I want to be a people's champ. I'm the people's champ.
There we go.
I'm not the industry's champ. I'm not the devil's champ. I'm not none of this worldly thing champ. I'm the people's champ who need that encouragement, who need that like humility, who need those different values to be like, wow, like even though I might be broke and he might be rich, I don't feel that gap. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's my brother, or that's my nephew, or that's my, you know what I mean? Whatever you feel, like you feel that connected to me.
For sure.
And that's where the selfishness come in, because I have to get to a place where people are literally looking up to only realize they don't have to. It's weird. It's like people, you gotta trick them, man. They don't get it.
So being able to live in LA and then also living in New York, do you think those experiences have opened your mind up towards the industry and like given you a different mindset when you connect with people and see things differently versus if you just stayed in LA your whole life or New York your whole life or anywhere else? Because those are two huge music hotspots.
Right. And I traveled the world a lot, so I had a lot of diversity and understanding of how people think, receive, adjust, react. So I think being in New York just kind of gave me more of a perspective on the hustle as a person in general. Like, wasn't even about the music industry or the music or anything of that nature. It was more like personally, how good of a hustler are you? Like, literally, that's what it came down to. Like, excuse me, but dang, excuse me. This is a Pinot Grigio. Sorry,
Bubbly.
a little Pinot Grigio for the win. But yeah, man. I just think I always said it would be so beneficial if everybody from LA could live in New York and everybody in New York can live in LA for 6 months. It'll open your eyes. What I've observed being in LA and New York is that New York is way faster than LA. And they know how to get it in many different ways. LA is, when you get it, you got it. You can't fall back. You can, obviously. Anything can happen, but if you get it in LA, you got it. You because it's so established that you almost get confused on, like, even the hood looks beautiful in LA. It's crazy. Like, niggas who will kill you got palm trees in their front yard.
Shit.
But that's real though. You know what I mean? So you never know where you leverage and level out in LA. And because of that, you could drown very faster than you actually comprehend. Meaning, you would say you got 30,000 in the bank, but LA is such a drug that 30 next month might be 10, literally, and you might not know how you just spent $20,000 in LA.
Damn.
That's just what it does to you. It's the culture.
Right.
And it's very gradual, but it's very exponential at the same time. It's like, it's weird, bro. I don't know how to explain it. And then when I go to New York, it's almost like it's fast money. So it's like you never really have a position in New York. You kind of just always trying to chase the next position. Because money goes faster in New York. So imagine the money I'm telling you that goes in LA. It's like triple 15 times in New York. You know what I mean? So people in LA move slower to get the bigger bag, and people in New York move faster to make their bag bigger. If that made any sense.
Yeah, for sure.
LA, when you get the bag, it's big as hell because you took your time. You got palm trees, you got good weather, you got good beaches. You gradual, you like just you waving. New York, it's like, then you throw some in the bag. Spin, accumulate, spin. Throw some more in the bag. You look up 10 years, are you ready to go? You set, I can go buy me a house. LA, you might just be accumulate. 5 years later, you got a big ass house. And everybody wondering, but you broke though, maybe. But you got a big house. So now you look like you rich, but you really not.
Yeah.
And the New York nigga got more loot than you, but you got more assets than him. Bro, it's just so like, it's hand in hand. It's like, that's why if everybody just switched for like 6 months, it'll be a culture shock. I was in shock, bro, but I got with it. One day I woke up, I looked out the window, I was feeling down. And this, what's crazy is the one day was like 4 days after I got there. It wasn't like, oh, I was just out there feeling lost. Like I was lost for 3 days. I looked out the window, I seen this dude riding a bike for Domino's. I'm like, I'm about to deliver food, man. I worked for this company called DoorDash, which was now worldwide. It wasn't like that at first. I was one of the first workers. I did like over 1,000 deliveries, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm a real DoorDasher. Like, I had a sweater and all that. And I was on a bike, bro, in New York. I was delivering to the World Trade Center. I was delivering everywhere, bro. I was crossing the Manhattan Bridge, the Brooklyn Bridge, bro, to deliver food. I was delivering Brooklyn. I was everywhere. And I did that for 2 reasons. Like, man, I'm gonna learn this city, and I'm gonna make some money. And I'm not gonna be the LA nigga in New York. I'm about to be a New York nigga.
Yes.
And that's how I approached it. And now I know how to move in New York. Well, it could have changed, you know what I'm saying? It's New York. That ain't my home. So I ain't gonna just actually approach it that way. But I have an idea of how to move. I know where I'll be. I stay by, you know, Wagner project. I know where I was at. I was on 118th and 2nd Ave. It was turf wars going on between these Wagner projects. I believe they called Wagner. And I forgot. But A Boogie came out because this little 16-year-old nigga got shot when I was living out there. And that's when he came out, nigga, this is what that jungle do. And it was like that was all like a New York thing. I was a part of that. I was a part of the second biggest snowstorm in New York. You know what I'm saying? Damn. I got a little bit of culture, you know what I mean? The snow was like to my like waist.
Shit.
Yeah, like everybody's looking at me crazy. That was my first time I ever seen snow. I'm making angels and having a snowball fight with my brother. I moved out there with my brother, Jermaine, who's also an artist. Probably should interview him next. But,
yeah, man, we'll hook that up for sure.
Yeah, but yeah, man. I'm aware of how the difference between both and how they both could equally help. I know that was a big tangent, but you know what I'm saying?
No, that's needed. I think that's really important for people to hear, you know?
Facts.
So what do you think makes you stand out as an artist? Because they're like LA, you know, there's thousands of artists, probably millions of artists, whether they're known or not. So what have you done to stand out? Because at the end of the day, there are tons of people making connections just like you, but what do you think gives you that edge?
My loyalty. And it's not even to the people, it's to the soil, meaning the morals, what I mean, my intentions. I'm loyal to all of that, you know what I mean? I don't come in there trying to be the toughest guy in the room. I don't come in there pretending to be the happiest, nicest guy in the room. I just be me, you know what I'm saying? And I think people gravitate to that. I got friends from enemy hoods, you know what I mean? And if you're not aware, whoever's watching or listening, you know, LA is super crazy when it comes to gangs and street violence and criminal activity. Strictly off colors or your region. You know what I mean? And I get respect from both sides, from all sides. It's more than just two. But I get respect from all sides. And it's not because I put in work or I did this, or it's because I respect them. I respect myself. I love myself, and I show them love. And, you know, that's reciprocated to the point where they feel willing to help me push my talent past LA and put it on the map. And even people who not from the streets, like Eric Bellinger's and BJ Chicago kid. I know he's from Chicago, but he's really from LA too. Like he's been in LA. I've been on BJ for like 10 years. He's been in LA since I've known him. So to me, he's from LA. But you know what I mean? Even Derez Deshawn, I had a conversation with him, and he was telling me, like, I really just appreciate that you not trying to be nothing but yourself. Like, you like, nigga, I'm from the streets, but I don't rock with it like that. I've been around this, but it ain't me. You know what I mean? Like, he see that, and he respected it, and that's why he wanted to connect with me. And most people around me want to connect with me for that same reason. I'm talking about the most killers of killers are not even the same when they're around me, just because you could feel my energy. You can feel my intentions. And, you know, I think that respect just travels volumes across anyone I touch or come across.
For sure, man.
They gauge who I am. Like, everybody lets their guard down when they're around me. I'll tell you that. Female, male, alien, Simpson, everybody let their guard around me. They guard down when they're around me.
Yeah, and being genuine is the most important thing in life, you know?
100%. I'm always genuine. I'm always trying to, you know, be real with people. I think it's very important.
For sure.
They gravitate to it.
So, Garren, what is some advice that you have for up and coming artists, creators, influencers?
My advice is be patient. I produced and wrote my first song and submitted it through BMI. Yep. Submitted it through BMI at 8 years old. I'm 26.
Damn.
So be patient.
For sure.
You know what I mean? I'm 20 years into the game. That's just when I submitted it. That's not when I started. So if I submitted it, that means I've been playing, I've been making music. You know what I'm saying? So be patient. I'm over 20 years into the game, and I'm only 26. if I could give you a hard core cut, I am about 23 years into the game.
Damn.
I'm gonna let y'all meet somebody too. My homeboy Damien. I'm using his office space.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, as you can see, I got a green screen and lights and stuff. He's a director, a film director. So I'm always around the right people.
What's up, my good people? How y'all doing today?
Dude, we could definitely set up an interview with you too in the future.
Yeah. We'll set it up.
Whenever, do y'all thing.
I'll connect the email.
Cool. Well, man,
what you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, man, I was just gonna wrap it up. So, if anything you gotta say, for real, just.
I would just say, man, take care of you first. Mental health is serious.
Mm-hmm.
When you in this industry, take care of yourself. And not even in just this industry. If you're a trash man, if you're a manager at Shoe Palace, or you work at Nike as an employee on the first floor of the headquarters, no matter how low, high you feel or believe you are, like, take care of your mental health, take care of yourself, and put yourself first and love yourself. You know, just be aware enough to love yourself. You know what I mean? Make yourself normal and just, you know, put your best foot forward and let God lead you to the places you desire to be. That's it. If I could tell somebody, just play that over, maybe rewind it, let it play, boom. And you'll realize what I just said means perfect sense.
For sure.
So, you know what I mean? Just want people to realize the reality of this stuff, and everything in the world make you forget the reality, bro, sometimes. Mm-hmm. Not even sometimes, a lot of times.
Yeah, I feel that. Well, what is the easiest way to reach you?
Instagram, Garren, Garren. That's it. Twitter, Garren Official, so Garren Official. Yeah, you hit me up on one of them, I'm always responding to everybody, so it's not a big deal.
Dope. Well, this is the Nast podcast with
Garren.
There we go, man.
All right, my boy, I appreciate it.